Yes people, welcome back to another video. It's good to have you here. It's been a little while because I've moved house, as you can see. In today's video, we're going to be bringing you a bit of a day in the life slash everything that I'm doing to bring the best physique of my life in around 20 weeks time, 25 weeks time actually, when I'm on a bodybuilding stage. But I think this period of time that I'm going through right now is very valuable for you because the success of your dieting phase, which is obviously what I'm gonna be doing in my competition prep, is not just what you do when you diet. What you do in the lead up to a dieting phase, the lifestyle that you live, your approach of nutrition, your approach of training, like all of these things are very important even before you've started your fat loss phase. And I often like to say to my clients, the way in which you prime yourself for fat loss is going to dictate the final result. So the better of a job you do in the lead up, the smoother your dieting phase will be. Therefore, the final outcome will also be better as well. And the process that I'm going through right now is exactly that, right? I've finished my dieting phase around 7 weeks ago. And in that time, I've gone from around eating 2,400 calories per day to now eating around 3,900. I've only gained a couple of kilos, training performance is absolutely flying, recovery is in a really, really good place. And that's exactly what you want before a dieting phase, and food's probably only gonna go up as well over the next few weeks. I'm gonna be starting my dieting phase in pretty good shape. Food's gonna be nice and high, and it just means that the prep in itself is gonna be a lot smoother because if you're starting your prep or if you're starting your diet for your holiday or just any kind of dieting phase in general, eating around 2,000 calories and you've got a decent chunk of body fat to lose, that, my friend, is gonna be a miserable time. And I think it's super important to realize that if you're trying to build muscle and lose body fat and get into the best shape of your life, you cannot do that by not fueling your body correctly. You need to spend time actually preparing your body ready for fat loss in order to get the best results possible. And heavy restriction or under eating, being scared of food, is simply just gonna lead you to spinning your wheels. And that's exactly why I'm gonna show you what I'm doing right now, right? Because obviously I've gone through this process many times myself. I've built confidence in, eating more food and knowing that it's not gonna turn me into a bag of milk. And I wanna take you guys through that process and what I'm doing. So yeah, let's get stuck into it. Right, so we're just out for the morning walk. A little bit of a later start today, but we're here, we're doing it. And this new area that I'm in, right? It's lovely, I love it. But it does give me like a little bit of Truman Show vibes, do you know what I mean? Like I feel like if I go out for my daily walk, because all the houses are kind of the same, they're all very new, everything feels like a little sterile. I feel like when I go for a walk, I'm gonna see the same neighbor like, oh hello, and then like the same dog like having a pee in the same patch every single day, and then the postman putting a letter in the same letterbox every single day. And it's just a bit of a repeat, It's not actually like that. It's just a little bit soulless, if that makes sense. But look, you can't have it all. It's nice, and it's very close to the gym. It's nice and convenient. The last place we lived in, as much as I loved that place, it was very far. It was very, very far. A little bit remote as well. Internet here is stellar. So good. I was literally having to use Starlink in the last place. It was just a disaster. So, right guys, as you can see, we've escaped the Matrix, but as you can see right there, there is some DLC coming. We've got some map expansion packs coming, which is not ideal. Thought I could escape the Matrix, but it's not looking good, boys. But anyway, talking about activity, okay? So it is super important that you actually make sure that you move enough each day. You're probably thinking, oh Tom, well, if you're telling me to eat more food and prime myself for fat loss, like surely moving less is the move, because that means when I actually enter a fat loss phase, well, I can add in more steps, I can add in more cardio. And yes, you don't want to be doing loads and loads of activity, but you do need to be doing some. You need to have some kind of baseline there. So let's take me for example. Obviously when I finished my fat loss phase around 7 weeks ago, I finished up on around 12,000 steps per day, around 4 half-an-hour cardio sessions, right? Since then, we have decreased it to 3 20-minute cardio sessions per week and around 10,000 steps per day. What this does is it allows us to maintain a consistent energy balance, right? But not only that, by keeping activity higher, we can also eat more food. And if you can eat more food, your digestion's better, insulin sensitivity is improved, you're gonna perform better. And if you perform better, you can retain and build more muscle mass, which obviously long-term is only a good thing. So yes, whilst you don't wanna be doing too much activity, actually having some in there helps to create more room for more food. And it's not like it's too much activity to the point where it's going to take away from my ability to recover and perform in the gym, right? If I was doing like 3 high rock sessions per week, 2 runs outdoors, and then, I don't know, intervals on a bike, yeah, of course. But come on, like a lot of people are so scared or just lazy when it comes to doing more activity because, oh, they're not dieting yet. And realistically, long term, it's only shooting you in the foot because it just makes less room for more food. You know, if I was doing, say, for instance, 6,000 steps per day, no cardio at all, maybe I'll be able to eat less, like 400 calories less per day. And that means that's 400 calories less that I can utilize at the start of my fat loss phase to long-term help me retain muscle mass. So it's so important that you do some activity. You know, keep yourself healthy, cardiovascularly, also make some room for more food, more performance long-term. So get outside more, do more walking, just like me, getting outside here, getting some fresh air, getting some steps in, and also do some cardio, man. Do some cardio. It's only going to help you long term. So consistent energy balance, more room for more food, better training performance, and long term, it's just going to prime you better for that fat loss phase. Right, guys, we're back in the kitchen. That can mean one thing and one thing only. It is time for pre-workout meal. So this is actually part 2 of the pre-workout because I've already had some cereal, not cereal, I've already had some rice and chicken, right? Standard procedure meal. I'm gonna have a bowl of cereal now. This is just to kind of bump my carbs up to a total of, I believe it's like 170 grams of carbs this pre-workout meal. So food is coming in thick and fast for this pre-prep priming phase, which I'm absolutely loving right now. But this is another big thing as well is, you know, obviously I've gone from eating around, let's say 275 grams of carbs a day to now around 600, I believe it is, maybe a little bit over 600. And on the surface to that, you'd think, oh, Tom's just gonna get fat, or if I ate that amount of food, I would get fat as well. And that really just, again, isn't the case. Because if we're eating more food, right, and our energy levels go up, your training performance also improves as well. And if your training performance improves, you start to build more muscle tissue and you start to expend more calories. So over time, as you build confidence with how much food that you eat and your training performance rises, your demand for those calories will also increase as well. So a lot of people demonize eating carbohydrates and increasing your calories as, oh, I'm just gonna get fat, and you don't. You can't be scared of food, especially if you're trying to slap on a lot of muscle tissue. And that's exactly why we are having 123 grams of cereal. But anyway, gonna get this meal down, head to the gym in about 45 minutes for a pull session because it's Tuesday. It's the second training session of the week, and very much looking forward to it. Training's feeling fantastic right now, and that's just because obviously food is in a good place. So eat your food. But yeah, gonna head to the gym soon, and I'll take you guys with me. Right guys, so we have landed at Ultraflex, or rather I'm gonna get in this pull session as well. I'm not gonna take you through like every single exercise I'm doing. I'm just gonna kind of explain the rationale behind it. So obviously 6 weeks ago, finishing off my fat loss phase. Since then we have changed literally nothing with my training. Nothing has changed at all. And that's just because obviously coming from a place where I was eating not a lot of food, recovery wasn't so great. If we suddenly just start going at increased loads of training volume, when the body obviously isn't in a position to recover, then that's not going to bode too well for long-term progression. So keep training volume nice and low, still coming in with the same intensity. We still want to progress, we still want to drive up our performance, because that's what's going to create more demand for food over the long term. And I think this is where people go wrong a lot when it comes to actually trying to increase their food, and then they just find themselves gaining lots and lots of body fat or just not making the progress that they want to see. And that is because if you start eating more food, you need to make sure that your training is productive. You know, you're going into the gym with the intention to progress. You've got your logbook and you're getting stronger over time. And ultimately, if you're not giving your body a reason to utilize that food, create the stimulus to grow, then yes, that food is going to turn into body fat, and composition over time is just going to get sloppy. So the two go hand in hand. You need more food in order to be able to perform, yes, but you equally need to be able to train hard and train consistently and progressively in order to build more muscle and create more demand for more food. They both work together long term, so you can actually get yourself to a position where you are eating more food and your body's simply not just turning it into body fat essentially because you're not utilizing it effectively. So for myself, over the next 5 weeks, the goal is to essentially drive training performance up as much as I physically can, because that's only going to create more room for more food, and having more food in play is only going to put me again in a better position to start that fat loss phase in a few weeks' time, which I'm very, very excited for. Lucozade Sport Ice Kick by Mr. Jude Bellingham, right? I don't watch football, but Jude, mate, you have absolutely smashed this. This is my go-to intra-workout carbohydrate source. Call me a little bit old school, but this tastes absolutely phenomenal. Oh, fantastic. I might have to start watching football now. So guys, I think it goes without saying that if you want to eat more food, right, and not turn into a bag of milk, you need to be progressive with your training. And the way in which you can do that is to have a logbook. You know, go into your training sessions actually with some intention. Set some performance targets for yourself in the future that you want to work towards. For anyone curious as well, my current split, right? So obviously I train in men's physique, for anyone that didn't know. So the priority is this. It's not these. They're always a priority, right? You want to bring up your legs, and my legs have come up over the past few years. But I need more arms, I need more chest, I need more lat density. I need more everything, right? But my split right now is push on a Monday, pull on a Tuesday, which is today, rest on a Wednesday, and then we've got push-pull again, and then legs on a Saturday. So literally just rotate it like that. Legs once per week. We're training delts twice per week, arms twice per week, chest and back twice per week, just to give them plenty of frequency to make sure we're bringing those areas up. Oh, nice little 10 kg progression there. It's taken me a while to get RDLs going again, but now they're just starting to click, starting to get it down a little bit. Wasn't quite happy with the last couple there, but much better, 10 kg. It's happening. We're going full douchebag mode. That'll do it. Fuck. It has been a couple of hours since we've trained, and we are only just having post-workout. So I've probably literally atrophied around 10 pounds of lean muscle tissue because I missed the anabolic window. What was that? My whole life just flashed before my eyes then. Do you want to shut up, you hater? Anyway, so we have got post-workout meal here. We have got bagels with peanut butter, banana, bon maman. I think that's how you say it correctly. This little jam here. If you haven't tried bon maman banjan, if you haven't tried bon maman strawberry conserve, not jam, it is the best one, all right? And we've also got a vegan protein shake because save the animals. Video today, we've talked about obviously approach with regards to nutrition, what I'm currently doing, obviously increasing food intake over the next few weeks, and how we're doing it in a slow, strategic manner. Talked about training, how it's important to obviously make sure that you're training hard progressively, to utilize the food that you're actually putting in. Like if I was eating all of this food and not training hard, of course, I'm gonna turn into a bag of milk. And as well as that, activity. So important to keep that activity consistent, even when you are trying to eat more food, build muscle. You need to do cardio, and you should be doing your steps consistently every day to make sure that you're making room for more food, because more food equals more gains long term. And other than that, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. And soon, within a few weeks, I'm probably gonna be starting getting ready for some like prep vlogs, which is very exciting. I've never done that before. Yeah, it's gonna be cool to take you guys through that process, share the journey with you. So if you wanna stick around for that, see my whole prep for this year, be sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. I'm starving. I've literally I have atrophied, 100%. Lost all my muscle. What muscle I had to lose.
I've never seen it look so small.
I know, it's terrible.